If your sense of self is dictated by everyone else around you and the way that they perceive you, you'll start to lose sight of the difference between your mask and your authentic self-expression. This is such a common process for people with ADHD and autism because the world is a hostile and traumatizing place for us. We're told both directly and indirectly that we don't work right, that we're strange, that we're weird, the way we do things doesn't make sense. Pretty quickly, we learn to survive. We need to mask, we need to change, we need to at least convince everyone else around us that we're not like that we're like them, that we're normal. This is such a damaging process for so many different ways. It sets this deep-seated belief in the bottom of your subconscious. You need to change to be accepted. It can come to inform every decision that you make in your life if you never reach a point of diagnosis or awareness in your neurodivergence enough to start accepting yourself. Usually the reason people stop living this way is they come to a breaking point. A really important relationship ends, or they lose a job, or they hit some sort of rock bottom, and it becomes impossible to ignore the truth anymore that the suffering is not worth it, the suffering's not helping, because everyone starts masking for survival, to be accepted, but it gets to a point where the cognitive dissonance grows too loud, and then at that point you can't ignore it. I'm kind of at the start of acceptance, where I know that I'm autistic, I know that I'm ADHD, and I'm learning to be myself in spite of everyone else. For me, it's taken changing my environment so that I'm surrounded by people who accept me and love me for only who I am. That's been the most important thing. But even still, even with all of that being so much better, I feel these internalized voices trying to bring me back to my old ways of masking and pretending, acting like a neurotypical, especially when meeting new people. I find that when I really want someone to like me and accept me, I feel most inclined to be least myself, which is a really upsetting thing. But I have such a visceral fight or flight reaction to the idea of not being liked because I've connected it with the idea of not being enough, not being accepted. But that's not the case. And it's important to remember that that's not the case. I'm going to drive home now. Thanks for checking in. Love you guys. Have a good one.